Hi friends, and welcome to Gilded Loop. My name is Matt. Today I'm bringing to you a yarn review of some sparkle yarn. Now the yarn review that I'm doing for you today is for 3 different colors. One of these is Redheart, the Super Saver Metallic, and the other 2 are Mainstays Sparkle Acrylic Yarn. These yarns are so comparable. They are literally just like one another in feel and everything. I cannot tell a difference at all. In fact, the yardage is almost identical. They're both 5 ounce, or all 3 of them are 5 ounce skeins. So without further ado, let's kind of get into it, and I'll have a yarn swatch available for you to show one of my whips, which is using all 3 of these, and hopefully that will give you an idea of what things might look like together. So let's start out with Super Saver Metallic. Now Super Saver Metallic comes in a couple variations of color. This one I specifically like to be from the gold accents, but they have black with gold woven in. So when I say woven in, you can kind of see, you can really tell on this yarn pretty easily how it works. It's basically the black yarn with this gold tinsel. I can almost detach the tinsel, if you can see here, from the yarn, and that gold tinsel is pretty much just spun around and wrapped around the yarn. This feels soft. The yarn itself does, I don't know, to me it felt a little bit softer than regular Super Saver, but I will say Super Saver has really redeemed themselves and changed a lot and become a lot softer. But for this project that I'm working on, it's a lot of the neutral tones, and definitely wanted more of the metallic vibe. To me, anything with glittery tones is something that you can have out during the holidays, whether it is red and green. It doesn't have to be, in my opinion. If you've got silvers and golds and, you know, different things like that, you can use it during the holiday time. So I was quite impressed by this yarn. It's pretty affordable. It is also carried at Walmart on their shelf as a regular everyday item. So it is not hard to get your hands on. Hence why the other yarns that I have here are Mainstays. So I don't like all of the colors that come in Super Saver Metallic. So you have the black with gold, you have black with silver, you have a white with silver, which is nice. And then they have like a red, I think a pink, just a few colors, not a ton of colors. Like when I say not a ton, I mean like maybe 6 shades. I'd have to check to be certain, but about 6 or 7 different shades. So again, it is 5 ounces, it's 141 grams, 255 yards. It recommends a 5.5 millimeter hook, which is a US 9. That's showing for knitting needles, but for the project I've been working on, I did use, oh no, here it is, sorry. Yeah, it's still 5.5. So it's a 5.5 millimeter US I9 hook. I like to go by millimeters for my hooks. I know that it's not really the American thing, it's more of the European thing, but it's easier for me to equate in my head the difference between a 5.5 and a 6 versus the difference between an I and an H, you know? But that's just personal preference. This is a 4 medium weight. It is machine wash warm, the gentle cycle. any Redheart, I've never had a problem washing and drying. I would say because of the tinsely fibers on here, I would just go with more of a low heat on your dryer setting. But it's 98% acrylic and 2% other fibers, which is essentially the metallic fibers in there. This is called Black Gold for the color. Again, a lot of the colors that they had the blacks and the whites, but then it was more colors. And I love a neutral tone. Neutral tones are my palette. And I saw these neutral tones with Mainstays, and I didn't see tones like this with the Redheart. Now I did get some of this online and some of it in store. Of course, it's a black yarn, so you're really not going to be able to tell the difference. But when I was in store, this is what kind of made it appeal to me, because I saw this, and I think they had the black with silver and the white, but they didn't have a lot in the Redheart. I know some people aren't a fan of Redheart. However, I am. I love Redheart. Do I gravitate towards it for every single project? No, I don't. But I do gravitate towards it for many projects because the yarn itself will outlast you. It will outlast me. It doesn't fade over time. There are projects made with Redheart yarn that are still on people's sofas 40, 50, even 60 years later. So they'll outlast almost any other yarn. So that's why I like Redheart. So the Mainstays. It feels identical. I literally cannot tell a difference. The thickness of the yarn feels identical. The way that it feels itself feels identical. I will say anytime you're dealing with metallic wrapped yarn or sparkle yarn, when the yarn is gliding across your finger, it is going to feel a little rough. Not rough, but you're going to feel the textures of that tinsel kind of gliding across your finger. So I'm just saying, if you're going to be crocheting a project and wanting to do it all in one sitting or fairly quickly, it's going to irritate your finger a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. Anyway, so the Mainstays, 251.53 yards, so they're very particular. And this was, so 251.53 versus 255. This is 230 meters. This is 233 meters. You can see where I'm going with this. It's literally almost the same. This is a 4 medium weight and a 5.5 USI 9 hook. So recommend the same hook. It's the same weight. This one is called Taupe Splash. I love a good taupe color, and some colors that say that they're taupe look brown to me or look like tan. This, in my opinion, is like a true taupe color. And this is wrapped with silver fibers. This one is called Platinum Silver. Again, this is a silver wrapped with silver fibers. And together, I think that these look phenomenal. They're all more neutrally toned, in my opinion, so I thought that they paired really well in the project that I'm working on, that I'm going to show you. So without further ado, let's kind of look at the swatch together. So this is going to be an Afghan, like a throw blanket. Again, one that can specifically be used, in my opinion, around the holidays, or if you have somebody in your house that is just a lover of anything that sparkles, this is a good way to go. So this is crocheted with the cluster V-stitch. So it is a cluster of 2 double crochets done in a V-stitch. If you're interested in seeing how the cluster V-stitch is done, let me know. I'd be happy to do a tutorial on that. It is so easy and goes so quickly. I still have quite a bit of work to do on this. Like I said, for me, anytime I'm working with sparkle or the tinsel wrapped yarn, I have to take breaks because it does like causes abrasions, but it does it irritates your finger. So, and one thing you'll learn about me is I have about a million whips going on at all times. I have to stop on something, I move on to something else, and then I come back to it. It's just my own internal flaw. But yeah, so this is what that looks like. Try to get you a little bit of a closer look, and you can kind of see how nice these colors marry together, the taupe and the silver and the black. And I like that not everything is silver and not everything is gold. I thought that the one line with the gold sparkle is what really sets us off. You got one line with gold and two lines with the silver sparkle, but every line is sparkle. So this would also make a lovely scarf. The double crochet cluster V-stitch is a cushy stitch, more so than a regular V-stitch pattern, and this provides a little bit of cush. Like this is comfy. You can sit on the couch with it. One thing that I'll say about this pattern, well, this pattern with the cluster stitch and the fact that I told you that as you're crocheting it, it does kind of irritate against your finger a little bit. But once this is crocheted together, it is soft. It is comfy. You really don't sense those metallic fibers in here once it's all done up. You're feeling them a little bit as you're crocheting on your finger, but once it's done up, it's nice. And I'll say this about Redheart. Give it one wash, put some fabric softener in that wash. It's gonna be a real nice feeling blanket. Like I said, the new Redheart is way different than the old Redheart. But yeah, this is cushy and comfy and cuddly, and is not something that would be irritating to your skin. Like I said, when you're crocheting, you can feel it a little bit, but once it's done up and all done, you're not feeling that at all. So just to show you the sample so you can just see a little bit more of what these yarns might look done up together. Hopefully this yarn review was helpful for you. Don't be afraid of Super Saver. Like I said, it's not the first yarn that I gravitate towards. If I can find a nice soft yarn, I love it. But like I said, these things, they're indestructible. I have an Afghan that my aunt made me in like the early 90s. That's Redheart. And it looks just like the day it was made. So don't be afraid of Redheart. It's good. It definitely has its purposes. And if you want a neutral vibe with some of this metallic yarn, go pick you up some of these and pair these colors together. I think that they go really nicely together. Again, thanks so much for tuning into my channel for this quick little review for Redheart and Mainstays Redheart Metallic paired with Mainstays Sparkle Acrylic. Redheart Metallic normally goes for $4.99, I want to say, or $5.49 or something like that. I think Walmart has it for like $4.99 or $4.79 or somewhere around there. And the Mainstays Sparkle Acrylic, it's like $2.99 or maybe $3.49, somewhere in that range. So these are value yarns and they're very affordable. I will include a link to Walmart for these items. I'm not affiliated with Walmart. I'm not affiliated with any yarn brands and don't plan to be. But I just like to put the links in there so you can get to it easily. And that will have the exact price since I don't have it on hand right now. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great day and come again.